Okay, you're good.
Okay, so we open the meeting. Welcome everybody to our District 6950 E Club of the Southeast USA and the Caribbean meeting. Welcome, and we have a few people on. That is wonderful. So I know we have our agenda. We are waiting past District Governor Will and Alicia. They're coming on to talk about the presidential citation and to show us how close we are, and we're almost there. So that's pretty exciting. So while we're waiting for that, maybe we'll have some, Robin, you want to start with some of our going around and telling us our, talking about membership and some of our other areas that you might want to mention while we're waiting for people.
Well, while we're waiting, there is this new thing from the Council on Legislation about the presidency of the club. They've decided now that the president will serve 1 year, and if push comes to shove, then they will have to serve, they could serve a second year, but no more. And if we don't have a successor after a second year, they shut us down. So that means that we need to have our ducks in a row for 2021. We're okay right for 1920 because we're kind of grandfathered in. This thing won't happen until 1st of July. But we need to be sure that we have the pipeline positively filled, that there will not be any problem with Ashley making a pets or getting pets training. And we want to get down to that, in my opinion, sooner rather than later. And if there is an issue, then we have to go back to the well to see who we can volunteer. That's important, and we got to deal with it. The other thing, I talked to Linda and had briefly mentioned to Ray, and I think I mentioned to Andy on the phone, we need to start on our budget process, and I'll send out a blank budget sheet with some notes and guidelines, and we'll see. We'll try to get it wrapped up by the middle of May, possibly.
Maybe we could do a budget meeting, or and do a Zoom call on that, and try to get whoever's interested to come on, and we can we bat that around. So
we could do a Zoom.
We'll Robin, you, myself, Ray, and Linda will come up with a date, because the primary people, and then we'd love to have you all come in and give your 2 cents or your Rotary verbiage, what you think, and you know, going forward, because it's very transparent and it's all about the club, and we need your input. So that would be great. So let's look in the next week or two, and we can get that, obviously get something in May, sooner than later, so we could start the process going on, so we can get that started and wrap it up as soon as we can. And I know, Ray, you probably want to say something.
Yeah, I just came in, so I'm.
Hi, Ray. Welcome.
Yeah.
Hi, Will, Alicia. Hi.
Yeah, hi. I have have an offer and a comment.
Okay.
One, I've worked on a lot of budgets, including the district budget, so I would be happy to help in any way I could with that. There are a couple of approaches. You know, one is to decide what it is you want to accomplish and what projects you want to accomplish, and then have that drive the budget, or some do it the other way around, but or a combination thereof. So anyway, I'd be happy to help with that. And the second was a question: has our president-elect attended any Zoom teleconferences?
So you mean me?
No. I'm sorry. The president nominee. I'm sorry, not.
Well, we technically we're waiting for a president nominee, so.
Okay.
So that was part of the thing that I think Robin had brought up for not for this year, but for we're talking about for 2021, right?
Yeah, we have Ashley and the wings for this year.
We have, we just have to call and get that. Robin's talked to her, I've spoken to her. We just want to make sure that that's all wrapped up. We're hoping it's tentative, but we're hoping. I think a lot of it, because she's in the legislature, a lot of it is working with pets and all those things. So we definitely would work with her or anybody. And I've spoken to her, and I think she'd be a wonderful president. But we just want to make sure it's going to work out with her,
Okay.
you know, with her work and everything she needs to do, and not feel pressured. So we've had some conversations. So I think we'll try to wrap that up as soon as we can, so we certainly can get that president-elect up there. Because, you know, we're getting hounded, as you know. Well, you made those calls a lot. We don't want to get hounded too much by district and everybody. And again, we don't want to fall into this trap of dissolving the club. I don't think it will happen, but you know, we just going to make sure we don't go there.
Mhm.
I'm happy to help with the budget. I'm a CPA, so I can help.
That's awesome. Thank you. Awesome. Some great people for the budget coming up. That's exciting. So, Ray, I'm sorry. I know I think we kind of cut you off, and I apologize. So I know you probably had a couple things you wanted to say about that.
No, as far as the budget is concerned, of course, Linda Chapman will become treasurer on July 1st. And her daughter, I know she's been busy. Her daughter was just married this past weekend. And she emailed me. She said she tried to get her daughter to run off to Mexico. It didn't work, so they went ahead with the wedding. And but she should be free now, and certainly will be a main part of the budget.
That'll be great. I think that'll be good. And thank you, everybody, for your help and input. And I said we'll have probably a couple of the Zoom calls, so please feel free to come in or see what's happening, give your input, and I'm sure we'll get something written up too that you can look at, you know, when you'll have time to look at that before we have some of these meetings. So that would be great. Awesome. So Robin, going down the list, anything else more you want to say about the Treasury, Ray? Anything since we have you?
No, I think as Robin knows, I've been preoccupied. We're moving.
Okay, good.
From Melbourne up to North Florida, not near Robin, but on the other coast. We're going to Ponte Vedra. So I've been preoccupied for a couple months, and Linda's just really picked it up and done a great job.
Awesome. Okay, well, we're happy. Hope you have a great move, and when you know, I'm sure you'll have a party, and we'll all come up and see you whenever you get that all done. So just let us know, and we'll bring
That's the North Country. Okay.
Okay. Well, we'll make it up there.
They even get snow up there occasionally.
So that would be good. Thanks, Ray. Robin, what's next on with our? We talked about membership. We talked about
membership is good. We have some new members, but as I mentioned the other day, you need to talk to. Did you get John Gallant? Were you able to get in touch with him?
No, not yet. Yeah. But I'm going to go down my list and talk to all our new people and some of the older ones too. So we'll get that all done. Since school is just about over, I have time now where I can do a lot of this stuff.
Okay. He sent some information on a Cuban project, which could be interesting to some of our members. He's down there currently. And he said he'd get me some more information when he gets back.
Right. I saw that. I'd like to talk to him. I mean, that would be great. I'd like to know how much it cost and where we would be staying. That's something for anybody who might want to go to Cuba, getting there on any kind of an educational thing or an organizational thing, because I have a feeling they're going to start cutting those things off like they did years ago. So if anybody's interested in that, it might be, the time to do it before who knows what happens. So I think that'd be really good. And it's a great Rotary activity. Yeah.
Yesterday, I attended a memorial service for the former president of the Arab Club. before it dissolved. And I was sitting next to also a former president of the Vieira Club, who's now in another club here in the locality. And this district apparently sponsored a trip to Cuba. The district went to Cuba, and he said it was a great experience.
That's great. Well, that would be really great. It's something that a lot of us could do. So I'll call him. I think, Robin, I saw that he hasn't back yet, but I'll try next week and see, and then I can share that, and we can even put it in up on the website. So that'll be awesome. Thanks for bringing that up.
One other thing up here in Pensacola, our Rotary Tree of Remembrance, we'll be having the Boy Scouts retire the ribbons at their annual ceremony around Memorial Day. So we'll have some pictures of that to share.
Oh, that's great.
The Cantonment Rotary Club, our new partner in the project, have suggested and are investigating using the tree in July in the mall for the month for the purpose of raising funds for a policeman, city Pensacola policeman, who has cancer. And there has been an enormous amount of fundraising going on by different groups. And these guys feel that this might be a way to show Rotary, but do our thing. And all the funds would be for that fundraising project. There would be no divvy out to anybody else. And I'd be fine with that. And if it encourages them, because that will showcase the tree a bit more for us in December, and hopefully will help raise our take as well at that time. Just want to let you know that. Yeah.
That's good. Let us know more about that. That'll be great. And I just want to throw something out. All of you saw the picture of our own David Croner getting a Paul Harris Fellow +5. There's not going to be much room. Will, you probably have a lot of those, and I know you, Robin. But those little diamonds or rubies or emeralds, there's not much more on David's little pin there to put much on. So once you get past the 5, 6, 10, whatever. But we had a lot of fun at dinner, and that was kind of nice doing that. So that was a fun event. So thank you, David, and we'll be looking for the 6, 7, 8, 10, and all the rest of them. And you just have to wear a couple more pins on your jacket.
Thank you.
That's it. Good. Related to that, Will and I were talking today about the presidential citation and about the total of the club giving. We think we're there, but
yep.
I couldn't reach a report, Will. It would just tell me the date last given, but it wouldn't tell me an amount, and my own was not up to date. So
let's give it over to Will. And then, Will, I really, as president, I just can't thank you and Alicia enough for all the years you've been Rotarian and past district governor, and with everything you've done and whatever. But thanks again so much for our club. I know for our wonderful little club for picking up on this. I think we're so close, and if we get it, I think it's a great achievement for a smaller club to show the rest of the world what not only brick and mortar clubs can do, but what an club can do with really good members, dedicated Rotarians who really step up and get the job done. And I think it's going to be great to show a lot of our members who really, not to put it bluntly, don't come on a lot, who don't get involved a lot. I'm obviously they pay, they're Rotarians, that's great. But I think when they see that we're a presidential citation holder club, I think then they'll really want to be a part of what we do, because we've achieved that greatness that not a lot of clubs achieve. So thank you so much for stepping up and doing that, and you make us feel good that we're so close. So I'll turn it over to you, and you can tell us how close we are.
Okay, well, thank you. Just an hour or so ago, I sent you and Robin a copy of the second progress report towards the presidential citation. And I think it's very good news. There are only two areas of concern. One is if we are able to keep our current membership numbers. In other words, don't lose anybody, and particularly don't lose one woman.
Don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Well, might be another.
Maybe Alicia, Alicia, can you clone? Can we get a clone of you? I mean, let us know.
Clone. That's all I can do to handle what I do. But so that's one area. Keep the membership as we are. In other words, don't lose anything. Gain people fine in the next 2 months, but don't lose anybody. So that's one thing. Second is, and both Robin and I are trying to nail down the total amount of giving by all our members to the Rotary Foundation. And I've only been able to pull up one number, and that was on the club, I guess on my Rotary, on the club progress report that listed around, it's on that envelope over there, honey.
Sure.
That was a very encouraging number, but that wasn't a Rotary Foundation number. So only when Rotary Foundation has the data. So I'm going to try to get in touch with the foundation. I've also been in touch with Wayne Berryhill, who's our Paul Harris Society chairman for the district, to see if he can help shed some light on the total giving. But the only thing that we haven't accomplished for the citation, as I can see, is that $100 per member giving to the Rotary Foundation. In looking over my own personal data, I also noted, this is from Rotary, in my Rotary, I also noted that many of my contributions since I joined the club in July were credited towards the Largo Club still. And I've got to call up RI and unsort that, get that corrected, because those numbers need to be credited properly towards my participation in the E-Club for our total giving. So I don't know if there's anybody else in that same category, and why that happened beats me. At any rate, I think that is the only thing that we will lack, and I believe also that we can actually get the citation with silver distinction, which
awesome.
is a big deal by virtue of initiating or continuing leadership, personnel, and professional development program to enhance member skills and the value of membership. And I think our support for folks going to RLI and other higher level training.
Andrew, I say yes.
For that. Okay. So I think with that one exception of foundation giving, and with your permission, I am ready to email out those bullets that I put together on why everybody should support the foundation. I don't know if you had a chance to look at those, Andy, yet, but I emailed those to you, and I can email those out to the entire membership, which may help stimulate things a little bit. If you would like me to do that and give the okay.
Well, maybe if you have a chance, AG, Karen, you, Alicia, and I, maybe we could do a Zoom, and because we need to put that all into the computer with notes and justification. Right. I'm not sure how to do it. I don't know if you do, but I know Karen does. So I think we went down the list and gave her the thing. We could plug everything in, because that's what we have to do for district anyhow. Right, I don't know if they had that in your, I'm sure they had something similar in your year. And obviously that's how they registered and looked at everything. So yeah, we need to really get that in.
Started putting everything into my Rotary during my year.
Yeah, right. So maybe we could just sit down with Karen, because she's pretty good at that, and right. Just go over each category. We'll put it in, and we'll have everything documented. And I think.
But I think bottom line, as far as giving to the
yes, I will.
Only the numbers that that Rotary International calculates will make the qualification, or will support that position. So I want to try to obtain that number, and I don't have access to that. So I think
I'll do the LGBTT.
I think only maybe you, Andy, or our designated foundation chair would have access to that information. But I can check on that, and Karen Nicolai would know.
Yeah,
we can get that number.
I think if just we sat down with her and we can go over any questions, but that would be great because, as I said, I think this is just the boost that this club really, really needs after the last couple of years, and I think it really can help us. Yes, past president, Mr. Robin.
Ray, do you have anything on that, on the foundation giving?
Robin, I think I sent you some information previously, maybe a few months ago. I have access. I just don't know how much access everybody has to the RI information. I have pretty good access to the foundation, the amounts that the members have given to the foundation.
I can't see that, right? And that's what we need. So to get the total that was given this year.
Yeah, I can go in and bring up the that information.
Yeah, that's really what we need to be able to determine if we meet that criteria.
Yeah, just let me know. I'll go in and give you the numbers, and then let me know if that's sufficient or not.
No, that's good.
Okay.
Okay.
I just assumed that most members would be able to access that information, or at least the officers, but apparently not.
No, we can only access our individual amount.
Right.
Okay.
I can access a sheet that tells me the total amount that each person has given over the years and the date that they gave the last giving, but it doesn't tell me the amount or the amount in this year, in this Rotary year.
In this year, Rotary. Let me go in and see what I can find.
Good.
Thank you.
I think that's great. I mean, that's again, that's very, very exciting. So I'll I thought maybe Karen might have been on the call today, but I think her husband had surgery, or she was traveling. She told me she would try to come on, but I'll email her and let's see what we can do. Sit down when you two have time and when she's available. We all can maybe sometime this month we'll be able to get a little bit more of this and anything else, any more questions that we can kind of start putting this to bed. That would be awesome. That would be great. Thanks. Will, you were you also going to mention the response? Was it the emergency response? I know you were. Any follow up on that? Because I know you had the past. I mean, you had the governor's meeting with that
yes.
about a month or two ago.
Yes.
Maybe what happened with that? You want to give us an update while we have you?
I can tell you just in a nutshell. There was only one of the 8 governors and one district that was not represented. That happened to be the Panhandle, interestingly enough, probably because they were dealing with that with the current hurricane crisis. But of the 7 governors and a number of governors-elect and disaster chairs, there were probably, what, Alicia, about almost 30 people?
Yeah.
We had close to 30 people on the video teleconference.
That's great.
And the bottom line was, after some discussion with a couple of folks who I would have to candidly say were not informed about Rotary's historical role in long-term recovery throughout the world, there were several people from one district who said, well, we don't think Rotary ought to be involved in long-term recovery. You know, just first response, just like everybody else, and then, you know, no long-term recovery. Well, that's totally contrary to what our capabilities, our forte, our network, and our history has been. So that misconception was quickly put to bed, I think. Bottom line from the meeting, what was decided, and I have not heard any feedback on this at all, was that the governors-elect and specifically the disaster chairs throughout the state, the district disaster chairs, were going to try to get together before the June zone institute up in Jacksonville, is it? Yeah, I think it's Jacksonville. So there was the, and I offered to host again a Zoom teleconference if they wanted to do that. I've heard nothing more, haven't heard any more feedback, but the plan was to get a room at the zone, get the zone director, David Stovall's approval to have an ad hoc meeting on the subject of disaster preparedness and long-term response at the Zone Institute in June. So I don't have anything further to report except that was their intention. Okay.
Thanks, Will. If you hear anything later, let us know. But that was pretty impressive that we got to kind of host that.
A real feather in
the other month.
club,
Yeah. And yeah. And then getting the presidential citation, that's pretty nice. Hopefully. Robin.
Yeah, just a follow up on that. Mike, I don't think you were at on that call, that conference, but there is a recording of it in the meeting. What date was it, Will? Can you remember offhand? Okay, we can look for it, and I can email you the date of the recording, the meeting that it's in case you're interested, Mike, because you're living down there in Panama City, and a lot of what I'm reading in the newspapers is that the place is kind of forgotten a bit, and that the long-term recovery effort probably, Rotary could probably be better involved in it. But if you have a look at the video, it'd be well worth watching. And you may have some input, having lived through it down there, to pass on to Will to get to these guys if they're going to go ahead with that meeting in Jacksonville. Might even be something that you might like to attend because you're experienced. You have the experience.
Sure, if you can, I can look. But if you can shoot me a link or the date, I'll grab the recording and look at it. Cool.
Okay, well, thanks. Mike, did you want to comment, say anything at all about that or anything so far?
That's good to see your smiling faces today.
It's good to see yours. Thanks for being here. I have to say, it's so great to see like 8 people. Sorry about the dogs are barking at the window. Have 8 people here. That's pretty impressive. Hold on, while you're talking, let me get the dog out of the room, else the dog's going to lead the meeting. Come on, let's go.
I thought it was a dog on the street up here.
Yeah, yeah.
With the windows open.
That was February 26th.
Robin, that's my drinking buddy. No, I'm okay. No, but it's great to see 8 faces on here. This is impressive. So this is nice. This is a very good. Stacy, we haven't heard from you. I know we can't see you. Any questions? Anything you want to mention? Anything? We'd love to hear from you.
Well, I'm just kind of quietly listening, getting a feel for the club.
Okay, well, if you have any questions, thoughts, comments, let us know. Mike.
Am I muted? No. Will, you blurted out a date. I didn't get it. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, yeah.
I think Will blurted out a date of that meeting. I didn't hear what it was.
Will, you have the date?
He's muted. There he is.
26th February.
26th of February? Got it. Thanks.
Awesome. Okay. Robin, what's next on our agenda? can't hear Robin. He's drinking with my Shih Tzu dog. No, I'm not kidding.
Yeah, you got
Robinson.
it. That's as much as we have.
Okay. One thing I know, we're almost coming at the end of the Rotary year. One thing I'd like to put up there is to start thinking about one thing we had last year, and I know I think had on and off over the years, is Rotarian of the Year for our club. So I want everybody to start thinking about who would they like to nominate, and we could pick somebody from the club for all their outstanding work. Might be from somebody from who's on tonight, because these are the people do all the work. But I would like certainly moving forward to have a Rotarian of the Year for the club, for the work that they put in, and obviously sometimes it's a president who's leaving and whatever. I know I have one more year, but let's start thinking about that, and maybe we can have a little board somewhere that maybe the president keeps, and keep on putting those names on the plaque. I think it'd be kind of nice for us. So let's start thinking about that. We can have a Survey Monkey or whatever, and get that out in the next month or two, so we can start maybe soliciting nominations for that, and then people to vote upon, or it could be from the board to come up with some people and vote on it. So I leave that to you. Because I know we have a lot of directors on here tonight, or several directors, to think about how you would want to do that. And or let me throw it here, if you would like to have a Rotarian of the Year for our club. I know many of the clubs I've been with have had that, and I think it's just very nice to honor that. So I'll open up for discussion. If that meets everybody's approval, let me know. Okay.
Yeah. We
Okay.
did.
And Robin, you were saying something?
Yeah, I circulated something earlier on from, I think it's Hands Across the Sea, a book distribution deal that we participated in this before. I think to the extent of maybe $200 or $300. I really can't remember. The memory is slipping, but this is where if we purchase the books and we get them to this outfit in Boston, they ship them and distribute them. So my contact up here is trying to get sufficient clubs to come up with, I think it's $7,500 to fund a pallet of books. So I'll make a proposal later on. I'm talking with Cordova and with Cantonment to see how much they might come up with, and see if they will then solicit other clubs in the area to come with us. It's not a done deal just yet until we have those discussions here.
Robin,
where would these books go?
Did we not contribute something to that effort this past year?
Sorry, I can't hear.
Yeah, did we not? I seem to recall that we contributed to that effort this past year. Not much, maybe $100.
Maybe it was 100. Yeah.
Okay.
This is, yeah. Can't hear. Yeah. This is a new load of books going down.
Right, I understand. Right.
Yeah.
Where would the books go, Robin?
Pardon?
Where would the books go?
The books will go to the Caribbean. They'll be distributed amongst the schools on the islands of the Caribbean. The group, I don't have everything with me just now, but the group that does it, they do this on a periodic basis. It's a nice thing to get into, and it doesn't cost us too much money, and it's in line with the Rotary causes. But this time there's a bigger amount involved to get a pallet load of books. And of course, the books are bought at a very cheap price, maybe 10 or 20 cents a piece. So
Yeah, somewhat related, Robin. Have we had any communication from Dominica lately?
sorry.
Have we had any communication from Dominica about the
Thank you.
computers and the classroom down in Dominica? It's been
Yeah,
a,
well, we posted the video.
but
and
that
we
was a
posted
while
the
ago. I'm
pictures.
talking about within the past month or so. Have you heard anything from Dominica?
Recently, no, I haven't been in touch since I got the videos up and the
Okay.
pictures of the classroom.
Okay.
Well, I think if we can do that with for those books, I think that would be great. If we can, Ray, I don't know if Ray had a thumbs up or whatever. I saw Will's thumbs up. So if we could do a little something for them again, I think it certainly would be certainly greatly appreciated. That would be wonderful. Robin, I know with all our contacts with the other districts and so forth and clubs. Is there any way with some of these things and working with some of these other clubs? I know we do for the most time, but kind of earmarking specific clubs or districts in the islands where we could do some of these things with, and obviously whether it's a grant or whatever, but maybe looking into those things for the future. Maybe getting more money that way and so forth.
Yeah, I'll follow up with the guys in Portsmouth and Dominica. I just haven't been in touch with them. I've been preoccupied with a couple of things up here. But yeah, I'll follow through with them again. Yeah, no problem. Like I see them on Facebook. I follow they have a Facebook page, Rotary Club of Dominica Portsmouth. You can look at that and you can see what their activities. They're working on recycling plastic waste on the island now and turning it into some kind of souvenirs or useful utensils. And there was also a lot of wood that was kind of knocked around, washed up and everything else, but they're using that wood to make souvenirs for tourists. So there's a lot of activity there, and I post a lot of this stuff on our own Rotary E-Club of Southeast USA Facebook page, because I just feel it would overwhelm the meetings to post it in there. And we do suggest to our members in every meeting in the preamble that, hey, we've got these Facebook pages, have a look at them, because there's much more in there than we can ever put in the meeting. Just overload the website.
And if we get in the future, we get a member who is really good with social media, maybe we could take these pictures of what you're talking about with the plastic is incredible. You take those pictures, take that narrative, not only send it to district, but let's start bombarding the Rotarian. I mean, these are things that I think personally should be in the Rotarian. I think what you did with the islands, I mean, with the computers, I think, we did send that pretty much up to the Rotarian. I think it should have been in there. I think that this is something, you really put your life on the line, Robin. Many of us know that. And I think that should have been a Rotarian, really a very substantial article, but I'm biased. But I think a lot of things that we do, we have it on our a web page, we have it in the Facebook and whatever. But I think we need to get that to district, and I think moving forward, I'm going to try to find somebody, be a new member or whatever, who's good with social media, maybe as a younger person, and let them do the social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and so forth, and get that out there. I think it'd be great for us, and it's really great for Rotary. I think if you listen to John Smarge, you listen to our incoming Rotary president. What's our, I should know, Will, what's our incoming Rotary president from Alabama?
That's right. Manny, is it? Or what's his name?
What is his first name? Will, he's a great speaker. I loved him. He's a lawyer. And Barry too, President Barry, they're all saying that we really need to, get these pictures out there with more of what we do in the public's eye. We know it, we do it, but I think our marketing and what we're, doing is just not getting out there enough. And we've seen this for years. So I think we have to get more to district. We have to get more to the Rotarian and so forth. We know it's on our website. We put it up there, but I think we need to get it out there for others to see. It's a great way for retention, a great way for getting new members, and so forth. So, and I know Ashley and all of us have asked, post pictures up there and so forth each week, and some people do and some people don't. But I think that would be a great thing moving forward for our club, to do that. A couple of other things. I know we've had some good meetings, quarterly meetings with the e-clubs like Canada One and so forth. I think something might be coming up.
There is the 27th.
Yeah, right. And I
Right.
hope all of you will go on that call. It's really good. In fact, when you see what Canada One does, and because they have the PowerPoint presentations and they pass it around to all the clubs, I think it really, not to say that we're not doing some great things, but they're really, some of these clubs are really doing tremendous stuff. And I know we are holding our own, but I think it would be great for our Rotarian members to go on and see what e-clubs are really doing. I don't think they know. I can't make it mandatory. I wish they would. I know Ron puts the video up there. I don't know how many people look at it. But I think to really look at that and see what these clubs are doing from Montreal and, from the Caribbean and all around. I think we had, about 10 clubs on there the last call, Robin. We had probably about 35 people on the call, maybe 40 people. So it was pretty impressive. And then they worked with, people in different rooms, chat rooms, and so forth, putting them together. It was an impressive meeting. So if you can make that, Robin, you'll get that information, put it back up on one of our Saturday meetings, so people could see that and maybe log on.
Yeah, when I get it's
Okay.
the 27th of May actually.
Yeah. So it's coming up in a couple weeks, but I think that would be good. But again, I think from what I heard at PETS from so many, I mean, obviously retention, getting younger members, which we know, but I think the public relations and marketing is so important. And maybe there's some other ways for us to do it and to look at that. And I know I'm sure Will's shaking his head because that's always been a challenge for a district governor with all of that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and Andy, when Alicia and I attended the district conference this past weekend, and there were three of us from the E-Club, Alicia, me, and Suzanne Nielsen, several people asked us what club we were in, and we told them, and they were apparently not familiar with the E-Club. So that tells me there's a great marketing opportunity to get our word out. I probably handed out 8 E-Club cards to folks, and
I have to say these are the greatest little cards in the world. Robin sent me when I was president. I must have, I don't know, 100 of these, plus the banner that I give away. I'm going to the Rotary Club of Wellington next week. I'm bringing my dean to talk on ground about education or whatever. I'm going to present them our banner and so forth, because I was a member of that club, but I'm going to give cards out to people and so forth. So they've heard of us, I think maybe through me, but you're right, a lot of people haven't, and I get a lot of people interested in our club and possibly joining, but the point is then I have to go and call them up again and kind of remind them. I think that's it. They really don't know a lot of who we are and what we do. Yes, sir.
Next, go ahead. You wanted to say that?
Yeah, when I head to the Clearwater Club on 17th of May, to present our club's vocational service award. There are a few people in that club that are aware of us, but not everybody. So there'll be multiple cards handed out.
Yeah, there'll be about 100 people at the Clearwater Club that'll be exposed to the E Club, and that.
Yeah.
So that'll be good.
And you know what? Maybe it's sort of, and I throw something out to you because I think we've heard it. But you know, when I came to this club, and I came through David, you know, because of just not being able to make meetings and going to lunch club and paying over $100 a month for lunches I couldn't go to, it just got too much. But the idea is that I think in the old days, E Club was a makeup club, and you would come on and make up if you couldn't go to a ground club. And I think, but you know, we've expanded. I mean, we've become our own entity. We are a club. Before it was that virtual club out there in the virtual world, makeup club. And you know what? If you're planning to leave Rotary in your district, you know, the governor will sit down, talk to you, and recommend the E Club because we don't want to lose you, so we'll throw you to the E Club. You know what? I think we got to change that a little bit. We're just as valuable as a ground club or a brick and mortar club, and we're as good as any of them. And if we can get this presidential citation, we'll show them that. So I think we're not the, you know, we're not the go for a makeup meeting. We're not the go-to for, you know, a last resort from leaving Rotary. We'll throw you into an E Club because we don't want to lose you. I think we got to work on that brand, our own brand, that we can, you know, be with the big boys. Whether if, you know, what do you have, David? What is Fort Lauderdale, like 300 members? I don't know. They're really big. But some of these gigantic clubs are in New York with 1,000 members. So I think we can deal with the big boys, but I think we have to get that word out in a special way, and maybe that's just revamping it this next year, so everybody knows about us, and we're special. We're, you know, a presidential citation winner, and we're doing these great things in the islands, and we're getting books and giving computers to kids in a country that was literally wiped out, and these are things that we're proud of. So I think that's what we kind of have to get out there this next year. So again, having the people doing the PR, the public relations, the advertising, the marketing for us, I think will be huge. So it's something that I'll work on. And again, getting your help if you find new members coming in, even young people or anybody who are good at that and would like to do it, I think that would be a really good special position for somebody to help the club along. Just a thought. David, you're very quiet, and they're beautiful, overlooking the beautiful oceans of Hollywood, Florida. I see the sunset in the background, and you know, you look like you're from a Hemingway movie and something like that. So, and by the way, David is representing us in Germany in a couple of weeks. So, David, what would you like to say before we wish you a fond farewell and bon voyage?
Stacy or Michael, anybody else going to Hamburg?
I am not.
And I'm sending David his thing because David is going to be our bona fide member from our E Club with voting powers. So David, just treat us well, and remember, you know, all your friends in the virtual world as you vote for us. So you know, and don't have too many glasses of whatever, schnapps, I suppose, or whatever. So he's smiling over there, overlooking. I mean, look at that, overlooking the ocean. That's gorgeous. Wow. Maybe we need to have that in our press. So that was so great. Have a great time over there, Dave. And again, also take pictures, like I just said. Take pictures so we can put them, you know, online and show everybody and so forth. So that would be great. And send those to Robin. We can put them up. So that would be good. Ray, Stacy, Mike, Alicia, anybody have anything to say? We're almost, we have about 10 minutes, but we're getting there. Anybody have anything would like to say? Any new business, anything?
I don't have much. John Smarge is in my old district. If anybody does
good.
access to him, I might be able to get to him easier than other people because I have connections in the old district.
And John came on last year and did an incredible talk. And by the way, I saw John at, I think I might have mentioned I saw John at Pets, and he asked, how's your club? And he remembered I had a great time. He wanted to tell everybody. He said he just really enjoyed himself, people on the questions and whatever. And he said he had to email him. He had some more people for us to come on and talk. So I thought that was great. He remembered us. He had some more people for us. And he said, you know, what we're doing is great. And he wanted to keep it going, so he has some other people for us. So I think that was great. So I can do that. I think we have some really great speakers that would be incredible. And I was talking to David the other day. When I came on board a couple of years ago, Robin will remember. I think my first meeting we had. Who was our member from Australia? She did that great PowerPoint presentation. Who was that? Robin, do you remember? From Australia?
She was a Peace Fellow.
Yeah.
And she was joined us and stayed with us, but she was in Australia and eventually through circulating with the other clubs, joined a club down there. Yeah, but she gave a great presentation. Yeah.
And that's getting, at least every month. Let's have somebody, it could be one of ourselves or somebody we know, come in and do an online presentation. Could be something on Rotary, it could be something on education, it could be something on whatever. It could be even any of the initiatives that Rotary is working on and so forth. What's happening with, I'd like to know more about all the water wells, what's happening in Haiti that Rotary is working so much on. Conflict resolution, which has been very big. So maybe getting some of these speakers to come, maybe people maybe somebody Michaels knows and whatever, and we can, put it up there, invite other clubs, other members, other Rotarians, and do that. We can have that kind of series. Let's call it a series and have it once a month. I think that could be a great way to, do something special, do something that we're doing, and something on some of the big issues of our day. And it doesn't have to be Rotary. It could be, international issues or whatever. It could be authors. It could be some great people. So I just want to throw that out to you because as I said, when I don't remember her name. I know Robin and David do, but that was, I think, my first meeting, and I was really, it's in my mind. I remember her doing the PowerPoint presentation in the background, how interesting it is. And I thought, I would be getting more of that in the club, and somehow we didn't live up to that and do that. So I think we can do that, perhaps on a monthly basis, and have really great speakers that we can find. And they don't have to be the bigwigs of Rotary, but I think it would be great. And we'll get a lot of people coming on and seeing what we're doing, and we can tape them. So just a thought, some things moving forward, which I think should really enhance our brand for the club, not just the Rotary brand, but our E-Club brand. So that was just a thought from the press. Okay, anybody have any other new business, thoughts, comments, anything? Before we send you all to dinner or to a drink at the club or a drink on Robin? No? Okay. Okay, Robin. So let's, put up the glasses, cheers. And David, since you are leaving and whatever, I'm going to throw it to you. Would you start us with the four-way test?
I forget it.
Overlooking the ocean. Number one.
Go ahead, Andy. Do it.
Come on, help me out here. Number one. What is it? Here's the test. What does it start with? Come on, David. You remember.
Is it the truth?
Is it the truth? Okay. Number two. Will.
I had to unmute myself. Is it fair to all concerned?
Ray, number three.
The beneficial all concerned. I think that's number 4.
Okay. Cool. And Mike?
Well, technically, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And then last, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Excellent. Very good, guys. Thank you. Passed the quiz. Excellent. Thank you, everybody. Great meeting. Thank you very much. and I will talk to you all soon. David, have a great trip, and everybody have a great rest of the week. And again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Have
you.
a good one, everybody. Thank you.